Hey, fellow YouTubers, JJ the Trucker coming to you from Wilson, North Carolina. Yep, I'm already down south in North Carolina and getting ready to head back to the Midwest again. Oh man, I got a lot to fill you in on. I want to fill you in on what's going on with the loads, where I've been since we last spoke. I want to fill you in on the bunk heater. I want to talk to you a little bit about Mr. Pumpkins. A lot of concern for Mr. Pumpkins over the last couple of weeks. So I want to talk to you about him. And first, before I get started, and I want to talk to you guys about the idling, but I'm gonna let's get into that in a little bit. So first, though, I want to start by apologizing to you guys for last week's video. Man, that was terrible. That background music just drowned me out. I apologize. I've got to go in and edit each track to turn the music down way down, like really low, and I've gotten it all, but I missed the track, I apologize. That won't happen again. Got a lot of feedback that when it comes to videos like this, you guys prefer not having the background music. So let me know. If you do prefer low background music, kind of like they do in TV shows and movies, you can't really tell it's there, but it's there. Let me know. If you prefer videos just like this, there's no background music at all, you're just hearing the road, the noises around me and stuff, let me know. Fill me in. All right, so that won't happen anymore. Let's talk about Mr. Pumpkins, shall we? Man, so many messages for Mr. Pumpkins. And by the way, it's Mr. Pumpkins with an S at the end, not Mr. Pumpkin. So hashtag Mr. Pumpkins. If you know where I got his name from, let me know in the comments. Because it came from somewhere, came from somebody. If you had to look it up, don't worry about it. But if you already know, right on to you, and make sure you throw that in the comments. But feel free to look it up if you want. Anyway, a lot of concern for Mr. Pumpkins on two things. One, he had to stay in the shop the whole time my truck was in the shop. And people were like, man, why don't you take him with you? Is he going to be okay? And all that stuff. Well, first of all, he volunteered to stay in the shop. He protects the truck. He wanted to make sure nothing happened to this truck. So, I was like, hey, you cool here? He's like, yep, I'm staying with the truck. I'm like, all right, cool. I'm going to a hotel. It's going to be comfortable and warm. It's like, I'm good. I'm in Dallas. It's warm enough. I'm good. Go ahead. I'm like, thank you, Mr. Pumpkins. You are awesome. As far as the snow, I checked with him on the snow too. I mean, all that cold weather. He's like, dude. Did you forget I'm a dragon? I have an internal heat source and combustion source. I can breathe fire, man. Don't worry about me. Cold is good. Now summer might be a different story. We'll have to make sure he doesn't overheat in the summer. But nah, everybody, he's fine in the winter, and I am taking care of him. Dragons, can eat a variety of different things. This guy, Mr. Pumpkins, loves insects. Yes, he loves insects. And what better place to be than on the front of a truck to get some insects? Oh yeah, he is well fed, believe me, very well fed. So anyways, thank you everybody for your hashtag Mr. Pumpkins. Share the hashtag on social media. He loves getting comments about him as well, on Facebook, Twitter, and on Instagram at JJ the Trucker. All right, what's been going on? So bunk heater. Let's get into the bunk heater portion of things. So last I left you with the bunk heater, it had been fixed in Dallas. They had a code. They weren't sure what threw that code, saying, timeout exceeded. I was very skeptical about the whole thing. Didn't need to use the bunk heater in Laredo, but needed to use it the next night when I was heading up north to Detroit area. And sure enough, middle of the night, it went out. I was not happy. Oh, come on, dude. Seriously? Not cool. All right, again, four-wheelers. If you have a death wish, that just keep doing stuff like that. All right. So fortunately, I had the Peterbilt dealership turn off the idle timer. I did get that approved through Prime and all that stuff. Until we get the bunk heater fixed, all that. So I was able to idle. I definitely want to go over some idle things that I learned. I've heard things from Peterbilt. I've heard things from from Prime. I've heard things from your guys' general comments. And I learned some actual factual information. I definitely want to share that, but I'm going to do that in the next video. So all about idling. We're going to have an idle conversation, idle thoughts by JJ the Trucker in the next video. So make sure you're staying tuned for that. In the meantime, though, I was able to idle, so it's been warm. Haven't had any hotels, nothing like that. So went up to Detroit, dropped off my load. I had that storm, that winter storm. You know, I was following that thing all over the place. I think you guys caught a lot of that in the last video. Over to Paw Paw, Michigan, then all the way out. I was heading to Massachusetts, Northampton, Massachusetts, and that's where I was stuck for a day. I was stuck there for a day because, you know, it's Massachusetts. It's not a great freight area. It's great going in, as you guys saw from the last video, not great getting out. So trying to get out of there, especially since my fleet manager's on vacation now. So we've got, you know, another fleet manager covering. So he's got his crew plus my fleet manager's crew. So he's busy, you know, he's really busy, and I'm in an area that doesn't have great loads coming out. And I was running really, really low on hours. I think I mentioned that in the last video too. So I was thinking, you know what, I'll probably I would want to get one quick load just to get out of that area, and then, you know, use up the rest of my hours. I'll be out of hours. I'll do a 34-hour reset, and I'm gone. That didn't happen. Wasn't finding anything good coming out of Massachusetts. They had an overnight load for me, but you know, y'all know how I feel about overnights, especially since I had just woken up and I've been running errands, which I'll get to in a moment. I've been running errands all day instead of sleeping during, you know, what would now be my 10-hour break in the middle of the day. You know, and they want me to run overnight. I'm like, no, not gonna do it. Not gonna do it. Wouldn't be prudent. That's an old George Herbert Walker Bush quote there for you. Yeah, so I opted, you know, to wait, and ended up waiting. But I did make good use of that day, went shopping, got a lot of shopping done, and went to Thermo King in Connecticut, one state over, to get the bunk heater fixed, and they found the problem. It did code out again, but they dug a little bit deeper and found that the wiring connection to the main power and the inverter power box, the brains of the inverter and APU, if you will, that connection was very loose. It was barely hanging on. So they corrected that, and they are pretty confident that that's what the issue was. It was just, you know, going in and out. It wasn't, it was just too much of an arc for it to draw power. So when it was drawing a lot of power, it was probably overheating, not getting enough power, you know, to really make it heat up and do a good job. So that was 3 nights ago, I think now, and it's been working. It has been working ever since. So kudos to them. And I did get my settlement today, and get this. The Dallas Thermo King had the gall to charge me. Are you kidding me? Now, they charge Prime, and Prime charges me. That's how that works on any of that stuff. But that should have been covered under warranty, for one. For two, they didn't say they were going to charge me. And for three, they didn't fix the problem. So I had to make some phone calls, find out what happened. They coded it as no trouble found, which no trouble found is not covered under warranty. But after talking to the service manager, he said, no, I completely agree. That shouldn't have been coded that way. We apologize that you had to pay for that and that we didn't fix it. So they're getting that reversed. So yeah, still what a pain in the butt. Anyway, where have I gone since then? So left out of Connecticut, did get a load for the following day. And it was a load down in, where'd I go? I don't remember where I picked up from. It was, Jersey. That's right, it was Jersey. Ended up picking up in Jersey and taking it over to North Carolina. No, not North Carolina. I'm in North Carolina now. From Jersey over to Virginia. Yep, and then delivered to Virginia this morning. My lightest and smallest load I've ever delivered, by the way. It was 3 pallets. 3 pallets, like 6,000 pounds. It's easy peasy, and it paid pretty well too, so I'm not complaining about that. Dropped that off this morning, then deadheaded over to North Carolina, a few hours, not too bad. Picked up a load of meat, and I'm heading up to Indiana, which is a good area, so that's what's going on there. The whole plan about getting my 34-hour reset did not work out, and yet it's okay. So check this out. These 34-hour resets, the intention from the FMCSA is to where, you finish off your day in the evening, you get your normal 10-hour overnight break, and then a full 24 hours after that as a full day off. Therefore, 34 hours. Problem is, most of our deliveries are in the morning. So, for example, I delivered in Massachusetts, wrapped that thing up at 8 a.m. All right? If I would have done a 34-hour reset at that point, well, 24 hours later is 8 a.m. the next day, and then another 10 hours would have been 6 p.m. My 34-hour reset would have been done at 6 p.m., which means I would have either needed to pick up an overnight run or taken the rest of the night off, and therefore basically had a 48-hour or 2 full days off. What a waste. What a waste. I mean, I would love to see, it's not going to happen. I don't even know if there's any discussion. I'd love to see it, though, to where, if you wrap up in the evening, you get a 34. If you wrap up in the day, you get a 24. Or something like that. That would be more reasonable. But it seems like every time I'm due to take a 34, that happens. I deliver in the morning. Well, that kind of puts a kibosh on that. However, taking the 24-hour reset and having those a couple of short runs ended up helping. It got me through those 3 days that I was going to be not getting a lot of recap hours back. And now we're back on full day, 11 to 10.5 to 11 hour recaps. So my hours are basically as good as new. So ended up working out. All right, I think I touched up on everything that is going on with me. And that next video, idling. I'm also working on putting together, once all this drama and everything's done and over with, man, this will really put a hold on some of the other videos I wanted to get released. One of the videos that's coming up, though, definitely make sure you are subscribed and you got that notification bell on, because I am going to share with you guys my entire year's worth of salary information, all my pay, the revenue, the expenses, the whole nine. Everything for the entire year of 2020. I'm going to, it's all in a spreadsheet. I'm going to lay it all out for you guys. That way you guys know exactly, what it is that, that I'm getting paid as a lease op and owner op. So make sure you're staying tuned for that. I will definitely have that out. Also, I know you guys have been asking about the inside tour of my truck. I'm waiting on one more piece. I got to get up to Springfield to get that. It's being custom made, and it's a big portion of the tour, so I want to make sure to get that picked up and installed, and then I will have that. So make sure you're staying tuned. Again, subscribe. Make sure you're clicking on my face at the end of the video. Make sure you hit that notification bell as well. And I am out.